Hello, I'm Dr. Leon Stutzman, aka Doc, with another one of these little videos designed to help you to get through these strange days in which we find ourselves. And these yet remain strange days indeed. They really do. Now, first, I have to say thank you to all the wonderful birthday wishes that I received on yesterday. 68 years old and still having a good time. Thank you. I'm talking this week about collecting your thoughts. I'm about to make a bold statement. I base this on over 50 years of experience studying the scripture from cover to cover many times. Miracles begin in your mind. Let me say that again. Miracles begin in your mind. I'll develop that thought over the week, talking about collecting your thoughts. In Matthew, the 17th chapter, the 25th verse, begins a wonderful story. Peter's been asked if Jesus and he pay their taxes, and he's not quite sure. He goes to the house where Jesus is, and the Bible tells us that Jesus prevented him from going in the house. Why? Because Jesus knew that before a miracle could manifest, that Peter was going to have to collect his thoughts. So he said to Peter, "What thinkest thou?" And that's my question to you on this Monday video. What thinkest thou? Have you collected your thoughts? Because you are the sum of your thoughts. You are whatever you perceive yourself as being. You have whatever you perceive yourself as having. Or as the scripture said, Proverbs 23 verse 7, as he thinketh in his heart, so is he. Let me say it again. You are the sum of your thoughts. What's on your mind? You have whatever you perceive yourself as having. You are whatever you perceive yourself to be. Lazarus experienced resurrection life like many Christians. He experienced resurrection life, but if you read the story, he came out of the grave bound by the grave clothes. His feet were bound, his hands were bound, and he had what was literally in the Greek described as a sweat cloth wrapped around his face. He couldn't see, he couldn't hear clearly, he couldn't speak clearly, because his head was wrapped around by a sweat cloth, bound by the grave clothes, bound by negative thinking, bound by preconceived ideas, bound by self-imposed limitations. What are you thinking? Have you collected your thoughts? In the book of Judges, there's a story of Deborah and Reuben. Judges, the 5th chapter, the 15th verse. And the princes of Issachar were with Deborah, even Issachar and also Barak. He was sent on foot into the valley. For the divisions of Reuben, there were great thoughts of heart. For the divisions of Reuben, there were great thoughts of heart. Issachar means reward. Deborah means forward motion, reward and forward motion. Most of the time, if you're going to experience reward in your life, it's going to be because you are moving forward. Barak means lightning. It happens suddenly. When you collect your thoughts, it happens suddenly. But what about Reuben? Reuben meaning success. What about Reuben? Reuben, as you read the passage of scriptures, back in the sheepfold, listening to the sound of bleating sheep, because he had great thoughts of heart. He had divisions in his heart. He hadn't made up his mind. Success can't manifest until you collect your thoughts. Let me say that again. Success can't manifest until you collect your thoughts, because you are the sum of your thoughts. There's power in well-collected thoughts, a well-connected mind. What are you doing with your thoughts today? What are you thinking about? What are you focusing on? Because what you focus on has a way of becoming a reality in your life. I'm going to be suggesting some things you ought to be focusing on Wednesday and Friday, beginning with God. Why? You say, well, I believe in God. But do you really believe in God? There are a lot of folks who believe in this anthropomorphic idea of God, that God is somewhat like ourselves. They have a picture of an old man sitting on a throne, the young man sitting next to him, and a little dove floating around their heads speaking in tongues. But have you really collected your thoughts about God? We'll do that on Wednesday. It's going to be powerful stuff, and it'll help you to experience God's best in your life. This week, write your thoughts down. Why? Because we're going to create a book of remembrance next Sunday. It's going to be powerful stuff that will change your life. You can catch it on the live stream at aspirechurch.tv. Catch it on Facebook, Aspire Church TV. Facebook, Aspire Church TV. Live stream, aspirechurch.tv. Sunday morning, 10 o'clock Eastern Daylight Time. Once again, it's going to be powerful stuff. You'll want to collect your thoughts this week. Wednesday and Friday, I'll be back with these little videos. Until then, God's best to you.